Hello everyone, the grammar topic that I've chosen to talk about today is the semicolon. So I know that looks like a lowercase j, but bear with me. So there's two correct uses for the semicolon, one of which is to help sort out a long list that already has internal commas within it. The other is to separate two related but independent clauses. Some examples of this would include, in my class I have students from Cork, Ireland, then you would use the semicolon, London, England, semicolon, Tokyo, Japan, semicolon, and elsewhere. And then for the other one, for the independent clauses, we have an example of we have paid our dues, then you would use a semicolon. We expect everything that has been offered in the contract. So that is the two correct uses for the semicolon. A lot of people ask what is the difference between the comma and the semicolon, and I've created a small list here that kind of shows part of that. So for the difference in the comma and the semicolon, the five main uses for the comma is to set off a phrase or clause before the subject. While she was cooking, her friends arrived. So you've introduced the phrase before you introduce the subject, which is her friends. You can also separate items in a list with no internal commas. So they bought apples, oranges, and grapes, whereas with the other example with semicolons you had like Tokyo, Japan, that way you needed the semicolon, that way the commas wasn't getting confused. You can also talk about it to indicate an inserted material like John, my boss, gave me a raise. It's also used for introducing a quotation, such as she said, then you would do like a comma and quotes and whatever the sentence would be. Then the other one is where you get confused with a semicolon, is whenever you separate independent clauses separated by coordinating conjunctions, if I can get all that in there. So my example for that was I was grateful, so I sent him a card. The difference between this and the semicolon is that you could say I was grateful, semicolon, I sent him a card. But the difference is that you've added this coordinating conjuncture in there, such as, in this case it is so, but there are others such as for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so, which has already been used. So anytime you see those in the sentence with independent clauses, you're going to use a comma. If you're not going to use those coordinating conjunctures, that's when you're going to need to use the semicolon.